So I wanted to start off by saying that this video ended up a whole lot bigger than it was meant to, because as I was writing I just kept getting more and more ideas, and that even happened while I was filming. And I really listened to those of you who said, hey, you know what, I'm an adult with ADHD and I have very limited resources in terms of a support system or money of my own, and so that's why I made the second video. So it's got a lot of things that are either really low cost or completely free. Step number 5 is don't be afraid to outsource assistance if you need it. Step number 6 is actually utilizing a cleaning or organizing service. You're using your own money and you're getting someone in to help out. Now, I've used a cleaner in the past and I found it really helpful, particularly after I had a car accident, so I wasn't kind of able to move my neck or my back or lift anything. She took some of the tasks that had lots of steps, and I was actually working with her, so I was doing the tasks that didn't have many steps. So, you know, she might be working on laundry, or you know, if I had a bunch of dishes or something like that, she would do that, and I would be, say, vacuuming, doing the bins and so on. Working together as a team to get it done. I'm a very socially motivated person, so that's what worked for me. Tip number 7 is to actually use a meal delivery service. Generally we have an amount of money set aside in our budget for food as is, but putting it towards a meal delivery service has saved me both money and time. I was using it because I was both working and studying. I was having a lot of my food just go off because I didn't eat it in the required time, and I'd sort of get home and I'd be too tired to actually make a meal, so it would just kind of sit there and go off. I've been using Light and Easy for the last year, but it's reasonably healthy. You don't have to go shopping, so you're not doing all of those impulse buys as we do when we see something delicious. You only pay for what you eat, which I find really good. So aside from not having to cook or prepare anything, another great thing about it is that there's no dishes. You know, if you've got a roommate or a partner that's always like, oh, the dishes pile up, that kind of thing, it's going to make your life so much easier. In general, it's been an epic win for me, and it might help you out too. Step number 8 is to have an accountability friend. You can find someone who can kind of hold you accountable. So you give them a list of your tasks and then you let them know as you're completing them. For me, that can be a little bit tricky. The community in Australia is quite small. But in saying that, just because I help a lot of people doesn't mean that I don't need that help myself. So if you are wanting to do it a little bit more anonymously, what I would 100% recommend is that you actually go online. So you find an ADHD support group or forum and find some community there, because often they're free. Step number 9 is to set specific cleaning days. I find that for me and my roommates, it works really well if I have 2 specific cleaning days. I tend to do a Wednesday morning and also one day on the weekend. And what I'm going to do is just make a big list of my tasks, crank up some music, and just get it all done. And that leaves the rest of your days just to be more relaxed and only do, you know, very basic tidying up after yourselves. Because realistically, life's here to be enjoyed. And finally, tip number 10 is a service swap. So if you don't actually have the means to pay for something, you could also consider swapping services, or what's known as bartering in some countries. This is when you swap something that you can do for something that somebody else can do. I must note that for this to work well, you've got to be a fairly good communicator and be honest with the person that you're swapping the service with. Consider maybe, is this something that you want to do with someone that you know, or is it something that you want to do with maybe someone that you meet online off a bartering or service swap forum? Both have their pros and their cons, so you want to consider which is better for you. And also, the services that you're swapping have to be of value to each of you, and you have to be confident in whatever service you're providing to someone. So for example, if I've got a friend that's helping me organize something, and I'm kind of outgoing and good with children, then I might offer to actually babysit the children while her and her partner go out for a date. That's something that, you know, she's helped me out and I can help her out. It makes me feel good to be able to help her out with something that I feel I'm good at. So it's a win-win. It's going to take a little while for yourself and your loved ones to sort of settle into this routine and find out what works for you. So feel free to cherry pick, tweak, and do whatever works in your household. I'd really love to hear what's worked for you and your loved ones, so don't hesitate to leave a comment, share on Facebook. Anything that's going to get the word out there and help others is great in my books. If this video has been useful, please subscribe to our channel. I put out new videos twice a week. One is for ADHDers and the second is for loved ones and their questions, featuring special guests. If you want to support what I'm doing further, please consider donating to my Patreon page. I put the links down in the description. You'll be helping out those with ADHD and generally making the world a better place. Thanks so much. See you next time.